Tacticians, what is going on? So great to see you all once again on this fabulous day, or whatever day it is for you. It's a great day no matter what. All right, so today we got another build for you. It's going to be for Aragorn, and Aragorn the second. I don't even have him leveled up, but Son of Odin, one of my fellowship mates, I've called for his help numerous times to help handle people with his just awesome Aragorn build that he has. So without further ado, let's get right into it. First thoughts. I honestly think that he is I thought he was, a pretty low ranking commander initially, but after seeing this, I think we're gonna have to change up those tier rankings, because Willikers Aragorn, he's putting a smile on my face every time I see these battle reports from my fellowship mate there, Son of Odin. All right. He does commander damage like crazy. He has all these different abilities that increase his damage or make him do more damage, and skill damage on top of that, which is, his skills. So he's just pushing out so much commander damage. He's pushing out maybe 250k per fight, and that's just fantastic, because on average your army is around 250 to 300k, and then that's not even including the army that he's going to have with him. So you should be able to, win your fights and just profit. This Aragorn build does require some items, but absolutely a great commander. So without further ado, let's get right into his skills. We're going to go into allocate points. I don't have him high enough level yet. I know he's only level 22. Don't judge me. But I will show you the great success later on towards the battle reports, or you could skip to the chapter for battle reports. But anyways, we're going to go this top part for his Respect Zero skills. And Duriel, you're just going to max it out. You're going to get that plus 15 extra might. And then every after 2 rounds of a cooldown, you get to do 300% physical damage to 2 enemy targets. That right there is great. And then you work in Cold a Week, 7 points into there, and you're going to do 210% physical damage to the lowest defense target, which is usually ranged. And we know ranged are monsters with doing damage. So if you get a nice little hit off on them, quite a lot too, considering it's a 1 round cooldown. So you're going to be doing 210% physical damage quite often. And then you get a 50% chance of gaining a 50% damage. Wow. So we're going to look down here at Dundane Chieftain. We're not going that route because we're not trying to synergize our army the best. That 30 defense and 2 health would be absolutely great, but there's other things that we need out there for that damage. That's what we're focusing on. Melee units with counterattack. Again, we got other priorities, other things that need to get done. Brawling training would be fantastic to be able to work into this, because you'd just be deleting everyone that's melee. But we gotta prioritize our skills, because this one isn't as big as everything else that's needed. We're gonna forego this one until you maybe get to Respect 25 later on down the seasons. This is maybe by season 29, 30, who knows, we'll be at be able to put all the points into everywhere. I don't know if the math works out on that, but that would be great. Next up, we're going to put 15 points into Strider. This is going to increase your base stats for all your equipment by 30%. And that 30% is absolutely fantastic. And he ignores the race restrictions of all equipment, which, there's equipment out there that is pretty much restricted. I don't know what else to say. Moving forward, with that, we have Precise Blow. We're going to put 7 points into there, and that's going to give us some great damage as well. We're going to be getting what, 4 times 7, 210%. Is that right? No, 280% physical damage against 1 enemy target, and it has a cooldown of 1. So you have 2 abilities right here that are doing a 1 round cooldown, and they're going to be going off every other round. This damage right here, I'm telling you, it's so good. I know I'm saying damage a lot, but hey, it's what Aragorn does. He just goes out there and puts out that damage. Next up, we got Raid. And round 1, it happens against one enemy target. It's going to be dealing I don't know how much off the top of my head. I'm not going to try to do that math either. I should have been better prepared to have this for you. You know what? We'll go over to the build directly of where I'm seeing it. Oh, I'm under attack. We'll talk about that another time. You'll see why. All right. Let's see. We're going to put 15 into Strider, just like we said. Strider! A precise blow, 280% physical damage, and you gain pursuit, just like I was saying. The pursuit, if they dodge your attack, you follow up with the attack and don't miss. So that's great. Really, really great, especially when you're going up against someone who does have dodge, or if you're going up against, you know, anyone who could hurt like that. Next up, you're going to go into a raid. Round 1 against one enemy target deals 240% physical damage and has a 50% chance of increasing an additional 240%. Holy mackerel. So that's possibly 480% damage on one target. And that's a cooldown of 2 rounds. So we have 2 abilities that cool down every other round, and then we have 2 other abilities that cool down after 2 rounds. Wow. And then the remainder of your points you're going to want to put into Hidden Air. Hidden Air. It's going to increase your skill damage for Aragorn, and it's going to give you, you know, however many points you have. It's just going to keep increasing, and you gain initiative during combat. So pretty much you're going to be going first to deal damage. So all those abilities and everything are going to pop off before your enemies get a chance to even attack you, which, you know, in the long term of things is going to make you take less damage for your units. So you want to make sure you're putting everything into there. Again, this build is fantastic. On the bottom part of Hidden Hair, you've got min % damage increase. Not as big or not as important. Still great, but not as great. And then up top, you have Sun and Splendor. It's going to give you Manish units, I believe, are immune to stun, and then you get increased against Orkai. So if you are going up against some evil factions, maybe you can put a point in there as you're leveling it up. But your base of what you want is everything right here. Whoop. This is the cream of the crop. These abilities, these 2 trees that you're going to max out entirely. That's what you want. And like I said, that's the bread and butter for you. All right. Now that we have gone over all of his skills, we're going to go on to his equipment. Okay, so we're going to look at Son of Odin's Aragorn, because he's the one who has this fully thought out and tested numerously. You're going to see these battle reports. You're going to be like, wow, it's great. So one of the first things that you're going to want to get is, again, might is literally what's going to be carrying him. I know I'm blocking it right here, but let me back up so I can show you. We're looking at 413 might right here. He has a base value of 198 and then a bonus 214. So that's with all his equipment and that additional 30% base stats. What? Okay. All right. So with that, that's going to give you some amazing numbers of 413 might, which is why you're going to see how much damage he is actually doing. One of the big items you're going to want is a battle axe with Flay. Flay is probably a big one to help increase your damage even more exponentially. First 4 rounds, allied commander, physical damage ignores 30% target defense. So you're getting 48 might for maxing this thing out. And then when you refine it all the way through, you're going to be ignoring 30% of the target's defense for the first 4 rounds. So we already know that we have a ton of abilities right here that are all going to be popping off at least 1 to 2, maybe even 3 times. Actually, none of them will be going 3 times. So they're going to be going off. They're going to be just absolutely demolishing. And so when you're doing that additional 300% physical damage, you're ignoring 30% of the target's defense. Let's just say you're going up against a Guardian that has a 120 defense right here. 30% of that is almost what? 40? Math might be a little wrong there. Oh, that's 40. No, somewhere around close. It's close to there. So like 37-ish. So if you take that defense, you ignore 30% of that. That's That's going to be fantastic. Just absolutely great. They're all about maximizing all of his physical damage, which is going to be might. So this is going to be a might build all in for Aragorn. So 48 might you're going to be getting from there. Scale mail. This is another great one because you can get 18 might out of this, if I'm not mistaken, and should be 18. It's going to give you 18 focus. No biggie. That's all right. But for defense, you're going to be getting 15 defense if you fully strengthen it out. You know, and then if you have Gallant on top of that, add in another 15 might. We're still not even, you know, taking the additional 30% base increase from the stats, the base stats that are on the equipment. So Aragorn's just going to be, you know, pumping out might because that's really all you want. And then of course you also want to get a full helm on him, which also can go up to 45 if I'm not mistaken. Should be 45 might. And then you know, sustainability, we're getting defense for all the melee, and then we do reduced damage for defense as well. You know, that's why melee vigor is, you know, a great thing to have. 3%, it adds up over time. If you're taking 100%, 100,000, you know, damage, you're going to be easily, you know, that's 3,000 damage right there that you're saving. Those are units that can keep you in the fight, keep you in longer. It's every little bit that comes together and makes it big. So you'll be able to get 45 out of this if you have it fully maxed out. If not, you know, put these items together, give it some shots, you know, outside of that. You want to put a Hith lane on there as well. It's one of the only accessories that's purple that actually has might on it. And you get 2 HP or 1 HP, depending, you know, on how you have it, or even 3 if you have it maxed out. And you get, if you make sure you have mend on it, 80% for 1 allied unit every two rounds. So these items are all about focusing on might. Some of the alternatives that you might have, if you have them available to you, is on your chest piece for the armor. You could put on a Durin's plate. Let's go take a look real quick. Oh no, I've been uprooted at 1024. Well, let's see where my new home is. I got moved all the way over to Brunnen Vale. There's a whole lot of nothing going on out here. Well, anyways, let's move forward. Durin's plate. This is what we want, right? So if we upgrade this, it starts off with 14 might, 1 HP for dwarves, and 1 attack for dwarves. So we're already going to have more might than we would with the scale mail. And then if you get, what is it? Dominance on top of that, you get even more might. So if you have Durin's blades available, that's going to be your preferred item. Scale mail is it's going to be your backup. It's going to be your alternative in case you can't get this one. Honestly, this is probably as good as a maxed out scale mail. So long, well, not really. If you can get the refine on the scale mail, it'll push it over. But until then, this Durin's plate is going to be absolutely fantastic. 14 for you right there. It's all might. And you get some sustainabilities for dwarves, which I'll show you army compositions in a little bit. An alternate for the Hith lane is also going to be the Erebor's Pride. It's going to give you 10 might on the accessory itself, and then 2 HP for all dwarves. This is a really great one. And then the secondary ability that you'd want is Iron Guard, because you're going to get 6 HP recovered every single round for your units. And if you want to go a little more damage dealt, you know, you can go Arid Loon Formation. Your dwarven units deal 2% more damage. Although, you know, you're not relying on your units to do as much damage, but you are relying on them to absorb and stay alive and, you know, assist. So Iron Guard is definitely the preferred if you can get it on him. And Hith lane, until you can get your Erebor's Pride a little leveled up, Hith lane's probably going to be best for you. Let's see. Now that we've gone over all of that, let's go and check out his special item, his unique item. It's going to be this one right here, the Evans Star. I know we were just talking about might on accessories, and this one definitely gives it to you. You get 9 might. And remember how we were just talking about, you know, HP recovery? Look at this. Every round, allied army recover 5%. That is great. That's what we want out of it. And you're getting army attack +1. You know, it's not gonna hurt. I'll take it. It's a free take right there. You're getting 13 focus. I wish these were flip-flopped. That would make it a little bit more, you know, edgy and better. But till then, this is a fantastic item to use regardless. Allied Manish units with highest defense absorbs normal attacks directed at elven units. This one isn't as big of a deal because you probably won't be using as many elven units with this build. Because elves are not as tanky. Just straight up what it is. They're more damage based. All right, so that goes over a special item. Now, best factions for Aragorn. Best factions for him is, in my opinion, it's going to be Erebor #1, because you can put the T4 dwarves and put them into the lineup, and they absorb so much damage. Those things are just absolute tanks. They're just walking tanks, or hobbling tanks. You know, they're ankle biters. You know, they come out there, they're strong, they're vicious. And then next up, I think you have Gondor secondly, because you know you got those Swan Knights. They take a rude beating, and from there I think everyone else is tied, because even our builds that were, or our army compositions in Lothlorien is tier 3 units, and he's putting out some great things, beating those other units with T4s and everything. I can't wait to show these battle reports. They're so great. All right, so for army composition for our main man Aragorn right here, right? So what you want to put on him is, I don't have it here, I don't have it available rather, but you want to put 750 ram riders. That's your nice little sweet spot, 750. From there you're gonna put on some, I don't even think I have guardians. Oh, not guardians, the Dunedanes. I don't. That's okay, because I haven't been using them. You're gonna put on 3,000 guardians as well. And then after that, you're gonna put on 3,000 Dunedanes, which we all know Dunedanes. I don't have them. I'm pretty embarrassed right here. Don't shame me. I don't need your shame right now. Okay, here, we'll upgrade it. We're on our way to it. All right. So we want to make sure that we have Dunedanes 3,000, Guardians 3,000, and 750 Ram Riders. You know who does have it? Is our man, Son of Odin, which we've been seeing the builds. This is where it was at. For him here, I think he was running low on some units. I don't know. He seemed like he was switching it up a little bit. But let's get a full fresh unit for you here. 750, 3,300. This is probably to go a little bit more tanky on the side. But either way, you could play with your unit values just a little bit, but you could see what you want. Reason why we're going with this, Guardians have the highest defense out of all units, and they're shielding, 50% chance to reduce physical damage received by 20%, and they have a bleed dot. You can see it right here, low damage, high defense infantry unit. This is going to be your tank right there. Dunedanes, they're going to be focusing on ranged targets. They prioritize ranged targets. They do an additional 30% as well when you have it maxed out. And then the damage they receive from ranged units is negative 30%. So you're going with this because you want to be able to, you know, burst down any ranged units that they have that might be beating on your guys. Because, you know, Guardians are great, but if they just keep getting hit by, you know, Sentinels, the Lothlorien T3 or Elven T3 unit, you know, they're going to eventually whittle. And then you're going 750 Ram Riders because, you know, 10% damage received reduced is always great, but trample is what you want. So when trample goes off, you're going to be doing minus 50% defense for 1 round. That's just going to be helping even more for any and all damage that comes out. That's the army composition. Now on to battle reports. We share all our battle reports here in our fellowship, and I'm so excited to be able to show these ones from Son of Odin. Again, he's been doing fantastic with this build. So this Legolas, it was missing just a few units, like 40 on the tower guard of the tower, and then like what, 12 on this T4 Iron Warrior. So obviously if you had T4, you know, from Erebor, you'd put it in place of the Guardians because it's an upgrade, you know. But anyways, This is this Legolas is no joke. This damage build Legolas as well is absolutely great, and that's going to be another one that we're going to be showing and showcasing. But for this one, let's just take a look at these values real quick. Aragorn did 252,000 commander damage by himself, and he did 52,000 soldier damage from his guys. Those are great. You know, he lost both of his side units, but his tanks stayed up and allowed him to finish off the rest. Wow. That's a ton of damage coming out from him right there. So let's go take some looks at some of his other ones. This is already a weakened Aragorn, weakened Legolas. Not really gonna look at that one. That's not really fair. But let's go check this out. This is a half strength Aragorn, King of Men, who is still pretty vicious, and you know, an upgraded version, if I do say so, of Aragorn the Second, not King of Men. So he's got the Durance plate on there, Iron Bassinet, pretty great. But he's doing, they have essentially same build almost, except when you look at these numbers for commander damage, it's just so great. There's not as much units there, so you're not seeing as much damage, but it is still fantastic. Pulling out with a win. That's not a full strength Gimli. Don't really want to look at it. This is a pretty strong Balin. He's only missing maybe 5 command points, because you have the 2 that you're missing from here, 1.5 from there, and then like 2.5 from there. So around 5 or 6. So this is pretty much a full strength Balin. Actually, no, it's already full strength because it's level 44. Doesn't have a total of 75, but still 210,000 damage coming out from Aragorn. I want to know what round did this fight end at? So if we go take a look at everything that's going on here, I just want to see what round it ended at. Round 8, Cold a Week. This Cold a Week's going to be proccing so many different times. So in 8 rounds, he managed to do 210,000 commander damage. Wow. I'm telling you, these are some great builds. I don't know why anyone's still using a hair gun for a PvP atmosphere, but hey, you know, maybe they know something that I don't. But it's also only level 32. We don't want to really look at that. We just want these sweet builds right here. All right, so we all know Dwalin is a strong character. If you don't, now you know. This one has twin axes on him unlocked. You know, he's got some might things thrown onto him there. He's got manipulate. That's great. He's got a great Dwalin right here. This is no joke. This is a strong, solid build for Dwalin. And as we can see, he's got T4 units for his Iron Warriors right there. And Son of Odin does not. This is an even split between all 3 of his units, and here we have the 3,750 on Son of Odin's. Let's just go take a quick glance at the end result damages. This is 245,000 commander damage compared to 142. He got some more, you know, soldier damage, maybe because he had T4s, but he still had some alive over here, still kicking, still hanging in there. We can see the different damage values of everyone that, you know, individually was doing. But wow, yep, 50,000 coming out from the T4 unit, which is to be expected. But still, Aragorn ended up winning this fight against Dwalin, and you know, this is a high rank character in my opinion, a high tier character, and to be able to see results like this, I know the items are better on Aragorn in comparison, but this is still like nothing to shun about. This is still no joke. This is a true clash of titans right here that I love to see. And you know, if we take the end results, you know, the Aragorn's going to win this fight. Granted, he's going to have to go back and lick his wounds, but you know, he could go take on another, you know, maybe 2 rounds, 3 rounds in another fight and still be able to do things, dish out more damage. These are all fantastic. This Gimli has 3,000 Iron Warriors on him. Holy mackerel. And look at this. Aragorn beat him. 220,000 commander damage, 80,000 from the soldiers themselves. which, you know, that's a big step up from what we saw previously, but still 226,000 commander damage. Telling you, that's the name of the game, is commander damage from Aragorn. This is a looks like a full up level 43 Legolas, and again, this is another win for Aragorn. Granted, like I said, this isn't going to be like, you know, sustaining over 4, 5, 6 different fights, but you're still going to be winning those fights that you come out with. You're going to be coming out positive rather than negative. And we all know you can recruit guardians like crazy. You can, Dunedanes are a little bit slower, and Ram Riders are absolutely atrocious, but Ram Riders, there's less than half compared to the guardians. So these are great. These are great fights. Absolutely great. When you're going up against a Gandalf, what could help your Aragorn, not really help so much, but you could try to go with Sun and Splendor, put 1 point into it to get that stun resistance. But either way, look at this. 302,000 total. These numbers, they don't lie. Consistently over 200,000 damage coming from Aragorn alone. You know, I know yet there's the 250% values that are up in the air, but either way, they're both great. And again, this Aragorn is fantastic. So if you guys can, go give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think, and ultimately, you know, Son of Odin, because, you know, he's the one who's been showcasing me, and I've called for help from him multiple times. But outside of that, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thanks.